Hello and welcome to the program. I am Suren. How to be alive, let alone how to live. Many people seem not to be able to answer this very simple question. Do you know why? I remember a student of mine from the days when I used to lecture, meeting me over a cup of coffee, said one day, "I know what you are going to say. You are here for a purpose, and know why you think of death and dying, let alone committing suicide, because you are being bullied." That's true. Now you need to live, enjoy your life, and be your own man. I know that you advise everyone with the same. Smile, be happy, and live. But I don't know how to. So I asked him, what do you really want to do with your own life? He was a confused young man who did not know what to do with his life, but thinking only that easy way of escape. And yes, suicide for a long, long time. However, I asked him again, why committing suicide? Whom would you please? Would it be a pleasing experience for yourself by punishing yourself? Or is it going to be the punishing of others who have been not so good to you? But the story in here is not only isolated for one young man, because many reasons make people think this way, or the known elements within the societies have been geared to destroy the human lives, knowingly or unknowingly, as they do with their own selves and with the nature they are part of, and with life they are meant to care for. And on the other hand, some even think that the suicide is a very selfish thought. So, at the end of the day, what is left? Or what is gained? How can we make life work for ourselves? How can we live the best way we could? That's a good question. Listening to birds, I arrived home one day, hoping I could help myself by playing the piano. I was trying to imitate the songbirds and other animals with my piano tones, which needed to be played in a particular way. I found that I was talking to myself. My goodness, I said, if someone would hear my words uttered like this, they would probably think of me as being, you guessed it, very peculiar. Sadly, my partner, Rosemary, has passed away with a very severe kidney problem, leaving a huge gap within my existence. And I was almost comatose. How was I to spend the rest of my life as it was? I asked. I needed a new purpose, something very interesting to start a new chapter of my life. Whenever I go to the beach side, watching the waves, my eyes water these days, as I used to go there with Rosemary, where we watched the waves, listening to the sounds, and looking at the stars at night time. And when we went home, happily talking all sorts of nonsense. Memory never dies off. I love life. You see, when young, everything is certainly more beautiful, but when older, it is different, however. We're still living in a beautiful world. I believe that she has appreciated me as her friend and confidant, not just a partner, and called me as I was her rock. I was now listening more often to the music, even occasionally playing a song with a bird accompanying me. They love music. I had too many difficult times during my living with Rosemary due to being cheated a little too often before, and more difficult times now without Rosemary. I was also a retired, mature age person and could not believe that she left. Altogether, with Rosemary, we decided to make it to at least 100 or more, and our desire to live long was certainly not dependent on our selfishness, but living a life for a purpose. It was this time when I have had more connections with those from elsewhere. Don't be confused. If I would tell you who they were or how far they have traveled to meet me, you would think that I have probably lost my mind. So I will skip many of the details. But what I'm saying to you is the absolute truth. However, I will tell you about all others that I have met from other civilizations. traveling in their craft and who were skipping around the galaxies and in pure space. Nearly 30 years ago, Rosemary used to tell me that she could not wait until our friends from elsewhere came to pick me up and bring me home again, as she believed that I was definitely needed to have a little break from the Earthian circle. I could not respond to what she was talking about. However, much later, she said, "If you spoke about what to do as friends returned, you, soon after, well, you're using new words and new language. I found them admonishing with no knowledge of technologies they were using, obviously, thousands of years ahead than the people who explained the initial steps offered was not much different than ours. In fact, if we did not create a beautiful existence, Seren, that the planet Earth would quickly go downwards, and anything afterwards would be just too late to even think about. Quite a considerable consideration, don't you think? We may be incognito here in Australia, let alone in the whole world. But many things are happening, and typical Earthmen have no idea. Do you agree with me? And especially the original peace plan on our beautiful planet. Who will indeed start the movement as to turn it around needs be planned as it is desperately needed now, right now. The world is so far gone down, and we need the help from exterior to our planet that is creating an absolute confusion, making one feel extremely emotional, even completely stunned, making one also shudder on his feet. One of our friends asked me once to describe what we, the typical Earthman, understood of the word God. I certainly was very dumbfounded with that question, because it has never been asked of me till then. Was that just another name for life? Does God mean life? And life exists in everything, even in solid objects. Shall we then call God perhaps the life force? But can God be a person, perhaps? Everything that exists in the universe is energy, or call it the spirit, if you like. If so, everything is God, without any exception. So, what are we really talking about? As I spoke about it before, I thought that it was a thought at the beginning of all creation. And this energy, or spirit, is just the pure thought. Nothing exists within the universe which was not at first a thought. Even a blade of grass was a thought. So was a leaf out of a fig tree. Energy, spirit, and life are extremely powerful and intelligent thoughts which reside within every one of us. The physical universe was first of all a pure thought. All human beings are up for a very powerful and intelligent dominance. And I am not conscious of. Nothing exists in the universe which is not part of this life force, or simply the source, or the field of energy, and not describable word, God, or a person. For many others, God was a complete and utter mystery, unknown and unknowable. Then, beginning to think all of that, one as a life force within us, is the most difficult concept to accept. How can we concentrate on this one as if talking with ourselves and asking for things with some understanding about probable requests? God, or life force, or energy field, is always one step ahead of us, knowing precisely what we think and request before even it is being asked. Because it is us. And this is the primary importance in human life. Humans need to follow up with acknowledgement of gratitude, giving thanks, living in the belief that knowledge requested has already been granted. This is what needs to be believed in. Determination and perseverance is what is required, not a prayer to a holy person. I think that this is the real sincerity and the desire to know. There was an existence of this force within, and it can be proven as it is there to help and to assist you and me at all times in our daily life. This proof and knowledge can dramatically change your existence. What you term as God is meant to be knowledgeable, extremely intelligent, majestic, powerful, and unfathomable body within the human mind, mind you. Unbelievable and incredibly magical, which we cannot truly understand. We could not accept that every thought within the mind of men and women exists in reality, truly reality, in real terms. Everything responds to knowing in your mind. Believing and asking this and telling yourself that they already exist opens the door wide for you and me to know the manifestations and the knowledge. I know it is very hard to believe, but in assisting it in all stages of life, soon faces like you're really a simple one. We did have the gift of 3 real happenings as we see fit, and there is no interference. We are being told. The best way is the actual approach, and that is, believe it or not, the self-talk. Maybe humans must start to listen to those thoughts as they begin to come into their minds. Because of not being awake and alert, people live all their lives completely ignorantly and not knowing that thoughts are indeed powerful and generating the force. You are created to commute personally within your daily lives. This really is the natural state of being. Communicating with this force within is thoroughly joyous and beautiful and compassionate and tolerant, loving thoughts towards every man, woman, and child on this planet. Everybody participating. Love is another name for this force, and the only behavior which works within the entire universe. Negative thoughts and feelings are not from this force. All of nature's gifts are all good. And now you may consider the birds and animals and plants, the roses and fruits you can learn a lot from. You see, they have perfected the harmonious cohabitation that is the greatest expression of love. Know the difference between animals killing for survival and the world, as humans, killing only based on greed. And if they had developed perfection, as they should have, they would teach animals how to survive without killing. So, as you can see, in this life, on your planet, they would still ask. And what is love? It really is mysterious thought, all-encompassing and working tirelessly. Love leads to patience and perseverance, and this leads to peace and harmony in your world. We all come from this life force, from this life and the spirit. We can call it the essence of everyone's. Indeed, all humans need to learn to love everything. Everything is united within this life force, and you are attached to everything. Every man, woman, and child living on planet Earth is your brother and your sister, regardless of race, color, or creed. Your civilization is one family, believe it or not. When you begin to treat everyone and everything with love, compassion, and respect, your world will change, and not before. This is the ultimate future of human nature. This is the ultimate evolution and the salvation of the human civilization on your planet Earth. Creating a peaceful and happy life exists in reality. Coexistence with everyone and everything is needed. There is no such thing as God willed it in any circumstances for anyone or anything, and this is the proof of love that is unconditional. This means to the end. It's important to ask within the thoughts of your mind for the life force to grant you your requests, believing they have already been granted to you. Be patient and persevere when we talk. Not asking for great things in your life is the right attitude for this life force in everything and everywhere. Remember, this life force never judges. Completely opposite to what you are being taught by some religions. This energy field of deep love is an image of the source, energy field, and a reflection of life. Does it sound all very complex? We are now beginning to gain the understanding through the science of quantum physics and quantum mechanics. And so, are you on your planet are starting a new way to create peace, where it is accepted by any human being or not on the surface of this wondrous planet, Earth. It's all happening right now. Letting go and letting God, or rather life force, in, as the saying goes, can give a peace of yours surpassing everything you have known before. Part of the natural process is that life is going up and down, like the waves at the sea, and all things will be taken care of when you can trust. Your rewards will be greater due to your diligence and trusting. Your life will take off, although you might be in a state of thoughts, ideas, inspirations, but imagination will guide your actions and your works. Once it is proved to you that all is an inside problem or issue, you will begin to search for more information on your planet. Choose the material from the horse's mouth, as they say, straight from the life force. You, yourself, so very familiar with all the violence your world has created, and created by mankind upon this wondrous planet. Not created by that life force, or God, if you like. What was created that caused through the gift of free will, and which life force or God cannot interfere, because it is programmed exactly like that. Humans' free will and the destructive thoughts and beliefs have created all the harmful situation and destructive conditions on your planet. Every thought transmits energy constantly, and manifesting gives some reasoning behind why it will continue to exist in your world. It is unbelievable, is it not? Would a global government be able to make the change all over the world? Question mark. How will that create a beautiful presence? It's obvious that each country has to be responsible for the provision of a mighty independent force. We will continue. Thank you for sharing and watching. Keep smiling and be happy. We will meet you here again by the next episode. Thank you.